some practice yesterday. I wanted to go over a few little things with you guys. If you watched the last video, you'll remember that I ended with the -3, 2 caster. That had the car really easy to drive. The rear end was still set up by the book, how they told us to set it up when building the kit. So that let the car be really flat. Didn't do anything weird in the turns. It did exactly what you would expect. Set up that way. Turning it had steering, but it wasn't really aggressive on the initial. Like I said, it stayed really flat through the turn. It wouldn't hook really fast. It would carve really nice with that and the kit setup rear end. With that, I was able to run pretty consistent because the car wasn't, you could say, fast. It was a consistent car. You pushed it anymore and it really wouldn't do anything. So I tried, the first day I ran the car, I did everything with the front end. I tried all those different plates, different spring tension here. So this track day I worked all here to see what I thought. Originally I started with the pivot in the middle, and that's when the car was really flat, carved the corners really good, and I had the thicker diff heights here. Well, I ended up going with the diff height in the all the way upward position and the small shims here. What I felt when I did that was a more it still felt like it had the same initial turn and exit, but the middle of the turn felt a lot more aggressive. So I was able to make corrections, or as you guys will see, there's a chicane on the track. Going through there, it was a little better because it didn't carve as much. It was slightly more darty. But with that, it was still really balanced. Never felt like it was going to traction roll. Actually, coming off the straightaway through that first little turn, I'm full throttle the whole way if I hit the line good. And it takes every bit of it. People have been asking about this. We'll go over it real quick. This is the PN front mount for this body. I really like this body because it doesn't get stuck on anything. It bounces off the wall if you do hit the wall really well. One other thing that I did, I made a mount right here out of an old piece of carbon fiber, and I glued the ESC plug there. Real easy just to do that. Get a little wiggle, pull out. People have been asking me about my electronics. It's the Mini 28 with the MWX 2500 motor, a PN 385 milliamp battery, 70 discharge. It all works really well. I've had it in a few other cars also. I have not changed the toe from the book. I haven't felt like I needed to. And we'll go over this mount real quick, and then we'll get into the racing footage, and I'll let you know what I think about this setup on the car exactly, and if I'm going to leave it. But real quick, so I drilled holes and countersunk them, and this is the front bumper, splitter, whatever you want to call it, from the kit. So I drilled those holes and countersunk them so I could still use it with the hard body, and then I just used some screws and nuts to hold on the PN mount. I did modify this a little bit. I probably didn't have to, but I did. Oh well. So this, before I was able to touch, just barely touch a 4.6. And yesterday, I am now able to get them pretty regularly. The car's just faster, it's more aggressive, and the harder you push it, it just takes it, every bit of it. I still have the 30K and all these points here. I haven't felt the need to change that. From top here for the rear shock adjustment, I have it screwed down about 1 millimeter, and it's still the kit spring. But this just slightly more aggressive setup, in my opinion, with doing what I did here with the rear pivot. I'm still on the soft torsion rods with slight tension on the ball studs. Very, very, very slight tension on the ball studs. And it moves fairly well. Everything works good. Even with this loom on here, I ran it without and with no difference. It's all the same. But I hope you guys like the coming on and talking more about setup and what I think about the changes and how they react. The diff is doing good. We'll just touch on that real quick, because I know last video I said that I didn't like the way it felt, and it keeps making me change my mind every time I run it. Perfectly fine. Now we'll jump into one of the practice sessions. I was only able to hit a low 4.7 here, but you can see, if you watch the previous video, you can see the difference in the car itself. I know I can whenever I watch the video. I can tell it's a little more aggressive. But if you guys like what I'm doing here with the setup changes and all that, and letting you guys know what I think, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll keep doing it. Next car I have up to build is the B84 4-wheel drive from Team Associated, and I'm going to be doing some crawler content. I got a comp that I'm going to do this Sunday, actually, and you guys will probably see that. But let's jump into the on-track action.